Welcome back. Jeremy Lin had missed his past 3 games with a sore left knee, and it's worse than that. It has been diagnosed as a torn left meniscus. He has elected to have surgery on the knee, and that means that Jeremy Lin is going to be out for 6 weeks following this procedure. So he will not be with the Knicks at a very crucial time for them. Now, without him, they have gone to Baron Davis at the point. But Davis looked a bit fatigued. You wonder how much he's going to have in the tank for the long run. Yeah. Also, Tony Douglas may get a look. Bibby's going to get in there. It's going to be point guard, it appears, by committee. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, too, because I think when they threw Jeremy out there, it was so fast. His body wasn't prepared for that. And he talked about an all-star weekend. I went from playing no minutes to starters minutes, so it's going to be tough. And you hit on Baron Davis. I think he still has something left. I don't know how much. And with the back injury, I don't know if that's hindering him from trying to do the things he really wants to do on the court.
We're talking about a starter role.
Yeah, exactly.
Minutes for him.
And I think what it does, it puts a little bit different sort of pressure on a guy like Shumpert. Early on in the year, Shumpert was playing some 1, some 2. Now he's going to get thrown into that backcourt. With Jeremy Lin going out, it makes everyone else's job that much more difficult, I think.
Well, we'll hear from Jeremy Lin right now. He had a press conference at Madison Square Garden talking about the procedure and what's next. So let's listen.
All day, on the plane, during games, and in the morning and night. So we did everything we could. Today was the 1 week mark, and so this morning I got on the court to see how it would feel, and that's why I haven't been able to really talk about this injury up until now, because the decision was made this morning, and so I can't really do much, can't really cut or jump, so it's pretty clear that I won't be able to help the team unless I get this fixed right now, and yeah, it's disappointing for me. It's hard to watch the games, and I think I want to be out there, obviously more than anything right now to help the team. But hopefully, it's a 6-week rehab process, but I tend to heal fast, so hopefully I can come back as soon as possible and still contribute this season, hopefully.
Jeremy, did you essentially know when you went through shoot around, I guess it was last Monday, that it wasn't just a little soreness from playing too much?
I was unsure. I went through shoot around. Actually, I shot and went up and down, and I thought, this is probably isn't horrible. I thought maybe a couple days, but and then the swelling went down significantly over the next 2 days, and so we were optimistic, thinking it'd be okay. I got the MRI just in case, and then swelling kept going down, but it didn't feel any better, and I didn't really test it again until yesterday and today, and it didn't feel. It felt probably worse than it did a week ago.
So, I mean, this had been obviously a pretty amazing season for you, a couple of months. When you finally got the realization that your season's probably over, given that time frame, I don't know whether that's today or whether that's a few days ago that you maybe already realized it, when the realization hit that this thing is probably over for now, how did you come to grips with that moment?
It sucks. Not being able to be out there with the team, and it is what it is, and so hopefully I can come back as soon as I can and help everybody.
Jeremy, is this surgery tomorrow? Is it going to be in New York? What's going on?
It'll be early next week in New York.
Jeremy, did you seek a second opinion anywhere after the original diagnosis?
Yeah, I got 3-4 opinions, and it was pretty much all the same thing.
Did you see your doctor out the West Coast?
Yeah, I sent him the MRI and everything. So.
Jeremy, do you think you are a quick hitter, and the second one is, do you have some words to say to fans for their support?
I know, thank you for everyone, for everything, really, and, when I come back, I'll be stronger than I ever was, and, I'll be a better player, and, it's just another bump in the road, and we know everything happens for a reason, and God has a perfect plan, and so that's what I'm going to keep my hope in, and, continue to do everything I can to make sure I can come back.
Jeremy, what are the concerns given that you're about to head into free agency with a knee injury?
You know, I'm not even worried about that right now. You know, it's not like a career-ending thing, or it's not something that will bother me. You know, once it's fixed, it's fixed. It's the most simple surgery you can have, and so I'm more concerned about the season.
Jeremy, do you know if this happened on a particular play? I know it was Saturday that you had talked about it, but did it happen during that game? Did it happen previously?
That's the confusing part. Is there's not one incident that I remember. It was bothering me a little bit, and then it bothered me a little more, and then in the second half of the Detroit game, I could still play, but I was feeling discomfort, so I went in the locker room just to check it out, and I came back out. So, you know, I said if they come back, if they bring it within single digits, just put me back in. But that was obviously with a lot of adrenaline going.
And have you ever had surgery on either of your knees?
No, I never had surgery on anything.
Jeremy, I guess you've had a week to think that this is a possibility. Have you thought about what these 2 months have been like, just kind of the whole whirlwind that this has been for you this year?
Yeah, I mean, this season's been, you talk about ups and downs. This had, you know, a lot of downs and a lot of ups, and you know, at the end of the day, I'm still thankful to be here, thankful to be a part of the Knicks, to see this team, how we've grown, and how we're going to make a push for this, for the playoffs, and hopefully go deep in the playoffs. And you know, I think as a team we're doing okay, and we're going to be just fine. And but it's obviously been a very emotional year.
Kind of along those lines, Jeremy, is it easier to do this now, knowing you have proven yourself in the NBA first, or would this have been harder if, you know, maybe you saw doubts in your mind or other people's minds whether you really could play at this level?
I mean, if this was done very early in the year, obviously that would, I don't know where my career would be. I would be definitely without a job, and probably fighting for a summer league spot. But having said that, this happening now hurts just as much, because all the players, we really put our as long as we can, everybody, top to bottom. I think we're growing as a team. We're finding an identity, and we're getting better, and we have so much potential. We have so much talent, and you know, I think it's a process in terms of reaching our potential. All right, thanks.
So once again, Jeremy Lin, torn left meniscus in the knee. He is elected to have surgery that will keep him out for 6 weeks. It was a decision that was made on Saturday morning, so nobody knew before today. He is out. They're going to have to go with guys like Baron Davis, Tony Douglas, even a little Mike Bibby at the point guard position. But let's talk about the time frame. 6 weeks. Okay, the season ends April 28th, so the playoffs are going to start right after that. DZ, it doesn't figure if New York has this tough first rounder, if they're 8 and they face Chicago in that first round.
It's going to be incredible for him to, one, have the surgery, how he responds, the rehab.
Get in shape.
Get in shape, get your rhythm, get your timing back. Unless history can strike twice, when the Knicks, during the lockout season, upset Miami in the first round. But we're talking about the Chicago Bulls. We're talking about Derrick Rose. We're talking about Luau Deng. We're talking about a team that's been playing solid basketball all year long without Derrick Rose. Luau Deng has missed games. Rip Hamilton has been gone pretty much the whole season, and they still have the best record in the NBA. So that's why I say incredible if the Knicks can get out of the first round.
And you know it's tough for Jeremy Lin to make the decision to have the surgery now, because he's done the same math that we've done. we've done. He sat down, he's tried to figure out, okay, if I have it 6 weeks, can I push it out another 2 weeks? Can I get through the first round? He's gone through all those different scenarios himself, but he just couldn't go. So you know it was hard for him to say, look, I've got to shut it down, and let's hope our guys get through the first round.
You know, this is so unfortunate because, in fact, Jeremy Lin almost single-handedly saved this New York season.
Yes, sir.
This whole thing kicked in, the whole insanity deal, and they were getting a little momentum going, even though Amari has been sidelined. So it's unfortunate in a lot of ways because you have, I can't remember a New York season that had this many highs and lows in it for the Knicks.
And imagine a guy like Jeremy Lin, who was a no one in this league. He gets on an incredible roll. Now he's relevant. He's on the tip of everyone's tongue. Now his season is totally cut off. Just think of the emotional roller coaster that he's on. He's got to be wondering, okay, am I going to be able to get back to where I was? I had this incredible break, this incredible opportunity. Darn, now I'm hurt.
Right. And now I understand, because last night I went to the Hawks game, got some interviews in, kind of stole a couple interviews from him, and he said, I want to talk about my knee. I was like, nah, forget about your knee. I want to talk about you and the story, how it continues to grow. Now I understand why he didn't want me to talk about his knee last night.
Well, it is unfortunate. Jeremy Lin out 6 weeks. So if the Knicks do have this shot, they will turn to their defense to help sustain. And that's been a Mike Woodson staple, and it's something that he's implemented this year with the club.